Hello everyone, and welcome to our next video lesson. We are on 3-1. This is parallel lines and transversals. We're first going to define what a transversal is. A transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines at different points. A transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines at different points. I have an example here of a railroad track intersecting a highway. We kind of talked about this last chapter, how when two lines intersect, it forms four angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when a transversal intersects two or more lines, now we have 8 angles. Angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, angle 8. Or if it intersects another line, here's angle 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you can see how they come in pairs of 4 when a line intersects. When a line intersects another line. So a transversal is this blue line right here. It's the line that intersects two or more lines. So there's many different terms that we have for angles. We kind of talked about this last chapter, how angle 1 and angle 4 are vertical angles. Angle 2 and angle 3 are vertical angles. So we've already had those terms before. Angles 2 and angles 4, these ones are supplementary. They form a linear pair. We've talked about those. 3 and 4 also form a linear pair. So these are all review terms that we've talked about. So now, introducing these new terms, one of these 4 angles is going to have a matching angle with one of these 4 angles down here. So that's going to be all these relationships. One angle from the top 4 is going to be with one angle from the bottom 4. And here's what corresponding angles are. Corresponding angles, so if we take angle 1 right here, it's where they're on the same side of the transversal. This purple line is the transversal. You skip an angle and move down to the next one. So angle 1 and angle 5, those are corresponding angles. Angles 1 and angle 5 correspond. So we have a lot more pairs. Here's angle 2. It's going to be on the same side of the transversal. You're going to skip the linear pair angle and move down to the next one. So 2 and 6, those two correspond. So now if you can kind of continue this pattern, angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding, and angle 4 and angle 8 are corresponding. So there's 3 and 7, there's 4 and 8. So corresponding angles are when they're on the same side of the transversal. You skip the one that's the linear pair and move down to the next one. Those ones are corresponding. Next one is alternate interior angles. If you just think about the word alternate, it means like opposite sides, left side, right side, up side, below, whatever. So here's the transversal again, this purple line is. And so opposite sides is going to be like left side of the transversal versus right side of the transversal. And interior means like inside. And so 3, 4, 5, and 6, those angles are on the interior. They're between the two lines that the transversal intersects. 1, 2, 7, and 8 are on the exterior. So if we think about what is the alternate interior angle to 4? Again, you're not going to do the linear pair one. You're not going to do 3 and 4. You're going to go to the alternate side, interior, 4 and 5. Those two are alternate interior angles. In the same way, so are 3 and 6. They're alternate because one's on the left side of the transversal, one's on the right side of the transversal, and they're on the interior part of the two lines that the transversal intersects. So 4 and 5 and 3 and 6. So if you know what alternate interior means, you could probably guess what alternate exterior means. Alternate exterior, one's on the left side, one's on the right side of the transversal, and they're on the outside or the exterior. So 1, 2, 7, and 8 are on the exterior. So alternate exterior, angle 1, angle 8 are alternate exterior angles. In the same way, so are 2 and 7, alternate exterior angles. Now we have consecutive interior, or sometimes it's referred to as same side interior. Consecutive means like in a row. So they're going to be on the same side of the transversal, and they're on the interior. So once again, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are on the interior. So the same side, that's going to be 3 and 5, and it's going to be 4 and 6. Those are those relationships, consecutive interior or same side interior, 3, 5, and 4 and 6. And then again, with alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior is going to be when they're on the same side but on the outside. So angle 1, angle 7 are on the same side and they're on the exterior. Angle 2 and angle 8 are on the same side and they're on the exterior. 1, 7, 2, and 8. So those are the new terms that we are going to be using in this lesson. Here are some more review terms, and they're going to be used in future lessons. So just to review what parallel lines are. Parallel lines are coplanar lines that never intersect. Parallel lines are coplanar lines that never intersect. So this word coplanar right here is very significant because parallel lines have to be on the same plane. Okay? They never get any further away from each other. They never get any closer to each other. They are perfectly parallel. Again, these arrows right here are the symbol for parallel lines. Skew lines then are non-coplanar lines that never intersect. So you can kind of see on this hex nut right here, this blue line and this blue line, they never touch, but we wouldn't call them parallel because they're on different planes. They'll never touch because one goes above the other. Maybe they're, a half of an inch apart or whatever the case might be. One goes over the top of the other, but it doesn't intersect it. It stays above it. So they're skew lines because they're not on the same plane. And then we have parallel planes. Parallel planes are where there's two planes that never intersect. Two planes that never intersect. So a plane is a flat surface. When one flat surface and another flat surface run parallel, that's when they never intersect, they never converge or come together. We call those parallel planes. All right, we finish up this video with a couple problems that you're going to see on your homework or your accelerated math. Name a transversal of line Q and line R. So what line intersects both Q and R? That's what a transversal is. It's a line that intersects two or more lines. So line Q is right here. Line R is right here. What line intersects both of those two? That line is line T. It intersects Q and it intersects R. So line T is the transversal. Question number 2. What lines have R as a transversal? So if R is the transversal, here's R. What lines does R intersect? It intersects Q and it intersects T. So Q and T. All right. So now in this one, we have 3 lines that are intersected by a transversal. So when 3 lines intersect, it forms 12 angles. So for some of these, we're going to have multiple answers, so just be prepared for that. Name an angle that is vertical to angle 8. So here's angle 8. The vertical angle, we learned last chapter that vertical angles are congruent. It's going to be angle 5. Angle 5 and angle 8 are vertical angles. Question number 2 says, name an angle which corresponds to angle 1. So I will circle angle 1 here. So the angle that corresponding angles are on the same side of the transversal. So we're going to skip 3 and move down to 5. 1 and 5 correspond. So angle 5. But that isn't the only corresponding angle. What I want you to do here for a moment is visualize that, let's say this transversal isn't there. Let's say this line isn't there. Now we have 1, 3, 2, 4, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now which one becomes the corresponding angle to angle 1? You skip angle 3 and move down to angle 9. So 5 corresponds, but that's not the only corresponding angle. Angle 9 also corresponds. So 2 answers for that one. There's going to be 2 answers for this next one. Which angle forms a linear pair with angle 12? So here's angle 12. A linear pair is 2 angles that form a line. So 11 and 12 form this line. Angle 11 is a linear pair. And then you also have this line with angle 10 and 12. So angle 11 as well as angle 10. Number 4. Which angle or name an angle which is consecutive interior to angle 9. Consecutive interior to angle 9. So here is angle 9. Consecutive interior or same side interior. Let's not worry about these angles for a second. We won't worry about that line. So on the same side on the interior is angle 7. That's probably the most obvious one. But now, again, there's going to be two answers for several of these. Let's forget about this line. So let's forget about these angles. Now which angle is on the same side interior? Consecutive interior, angle 9, and angle 3. On number 5, name an angle which is the same side interior to angle 7. Same side interior to angle 7. So here is angle 7. So if we take this line out for a second, don't worry about those 4 angles. Oh, shoot. Wrong one. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's not worry about these angles for a second. So now the same side interior to angle 7 is angle 9. These two are both on the interior, and they're on the same side. So now, let's take out this one, and I want you to see what happens. This one, we only have one answer, and the reason for that is, if we talk about angle 7 now, in the sense of angles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 7 is on the exterior. So there's only one same side interior to angle 7, because if you take out this line, now it becomes an exterior angle. So just one answer for number 5. Last one, number 6. Name an angle which is the same side exterior to angle 2. Same side exterior to angle 2. So here's angle 2. So the one that's on the same side exterior like angle 2 is angle 8. And the other one, if we don't worry about these 4 angles, same side exterior, is angle 12. So I hope corresponding alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side exterior makes sense to you, because we're going to do a lot more work with that in tomorrow's lesson. Let me know if you have any questions.